RPG is a role-playing game. Role-playing. If anything, Breath of the Wild is the least RPG of any of the games, because Link is actually like a character in this game. Like, his name is actually Link. You don't even get to choose his fucking name. Like, there are no stats to allocate. Like, there's really, besides hearts, there's no long-term upgrade, like, at all. Like, in other games, you get stronger because you get new items or, like, you know, new shit like that. But, like, oh, okay, you get champion abilities. That's the only thing. You get heart, but, like, in other Zelda games, there's, like, more long-term. You get hearts, you get new items, you get, like, all kinds of different upgrades. You know, strength, all that fucking shit. But it's like, I don't know. Saying it's like Dark Souls is, what am I doing? Different from, oh, I'm not saying it's not different, but what I'm arguing is, just because it's different doesn't mean it's not a Zelda game. Like, alright, here's the nail in the coffin for me. Even if you could definitively make the argument, yes, this is not a Zelda game, which I think is preposterous, does it fucking matter? Like, what's the difference between the distinction of it's not a Zelda game and it's a Zelda game? It's just kind of different than the other ones. Then I guess you do you, man, but it's just like, I don't think, I don't know, names should influence the way that you think about an experience. I don't know. If that helps you enjoy the game, good on you, but I don't know, that seems really silly to me. I agree. Yeah, you can enjoy different Zelda games for different reasons. And I definitely enjoy Breath of the Wild for very different reasons than I enjoy the other stuff. Not necessarily. I don't think Breath of the Wild would be much better with traditional dungeons. I think Breath of the Wild would have improved. Here's my spiel. I think Breath of the Wild needed more stuff in the world to find. It needed, like, dungeons baked organically into the world that were, well, so all of the dungeons are, like, optional, right? But, like, there needed to be, like, dungeons that were more optional. I think that would have made it better. And I think the problem with the dungeons isn't that they're not traditional, right? I think the problem with the dungeons is that they're too repetitive. They're all the same. I mean, they have slightly different gimmicks, right? But I would say none of the dungeons really make you think all that much. Besides Naboris, I think the 5 terminal design would have been fine for one dungeon, but they should have made the other ones a little different. I don't think it's the puzzles in the dungeon that you don't like, or most people don't like. I'm not going to tell you what you do or don't like. I think it's the structure in which those puzzles are presented to you that most people don't like. And I think the structure of some of the dungeons should have been a little different. Not necessarily the content within them. The way it's presented to you could be changed to make a better game. If one of the dungeons in the game was exactly the way it is right now, and all the other dungeons were different, right? I would imagine that that one dungeon presented in that way would probably be a favorite for many, many people in the franchise. But because there's 4 dungeons that are pretty much exactly the same, besides kind of their gimmick, really turned people off. Are incredibly open-ended. There's usually a right answer. You don't like ambience? I think, from a technical standpoint, the Breath of the Wild soundtrack is very good. I think of Breath of the Wild, yeah, for the puzzles there usually is like a right answer, but there's many different ways to solve it. Which isn't necessarily a good thing, because 2 boring solutions to a puzzle it's no better than 1 boring solution. And I would say the dungeons don't suffer from that so much. That's more so the shrines. I don't think Breath of the Wild music sucks. I think it fits the game's tone very, very well. It might not be your jam, but I think arguing that it doesn't fit the game would be preposterous. So. And I think when you're judging a game, there's a couple of different ways to look at it. Like, what kind of experience did I get from it? But also, what was the experience that the developers, you know, how close is it to the vision that they had? And I would say in that way, the music is very, very good. And I think when you look at it that way, it's nice. Hey, Zelu, how is speedruns? Okay. Okay, well. You win some, you lose some. Thanks for the raid. The E3. Okay, here's my biggest fucking gripe with the game. Why wasn't the music in the E3 2017 trailer? Why wasn't it in... Fuck, that hurt. Why wasn't it in the game? Oh, that hurt. Okay. Well, that's not terrible. I love that song, by the way. That song's so good. I think you're gonna hit sub 3 any day now. You're gonna break through. I believe in you. I don't think it's so much better. I think it's... Oh, of the main theme. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you there. The main theme is definitely better. The main theme has this really weird thing in it where it's about to break into this really, like, big, lofty, you know, thunderous note. And then it, like, there's this huge pause. And apparently the guy who wrote the soundtrack said that it was supposed to represent like Link taking a breath or some shit like that, but it just sounds bad. I've heard covers that incorporate it more organically and it just sounds better. Here's my argument with the music though. If all of the music was very, you know, big and memorable and thunderous, and catchy and good. And I don't think good is the word I should use. If all of it was like very memorable, you know, catchy music, I don't think it would make the memorable moments memorable. Quiet time is important. And now you could argue there's too much quiet time. But I think Super Mario Odyssey, I don't really think all of the music is amazing, right? I think using Odyssey as an example for me is kind of not going to be great, because I don't really think Odyssey is that great of a game. I think the music's all pretty good, I would say. But I would say Mario is also a very different game, a very not as serious game. I think moments in Breath of the Wild, like... Moments in Breath of the Wild, like... The Divine Beast, like, set piece sections have very good music, and they own it pretty well. I'd say moments like when you go to the Rito village for the first time are pretty memorable as far as the music goes, and you hear that Dragon Roost Island remix, like, and it hits you and you're like, oh shit, I know this. Like, moments like that are very good as you hear the Terry Town kind of gradually. I think the Breath of the Wild soundtrack has a lot of restraint, and I'm going to say it's not particularly good listening music, right? It's not very good in the context of I'm not going to put it on in my car and bop to it, right? But I think while playing the game, it works very well. Hey, Chestnut. Yeah, I wish there were more set pieces in Breath of the Wild. I will agree with that. I really do wish there were more set pieces. Like I said, I don't think Breath of the Wild is like the most amazing video game ever. I think there's definitely some things that aren't great. I think there aren't enough enemies. Combat is fragile. Dungeons aren't fantastic. The shrines are poor at best. Outrank. Well, I would say they outrank Breath of the Wild in, again, I'm gonna put it on in my car and fucking bop to it. But I would say while playing the game, I would say Skyward Sword might. Wind Waker definitely does. But again, that's just like my opinion, man. I think there need to be more mini boss enemies in Breath of the Wild. I think every area on the map could have had its own mini boss, and I think you could have taken the standard enemy types, doubled them, and it still wouldn't have felt like enough. I think it also blows because people talk about how much they hate Skyward Sword. But that game had the exact kind of dungeons that people criticize Breath of the Wild for not having. So it's like, it really frustrates me because if Nintendo is listening to feedback, which I'm sure they are to an extent, what kind of message are we giving them by saying, well, Skyward Sword's dungeons fucking blow or whatever. But so do Breath of the Wild, so it's like it gives off an impression of like, well, what the fuck do you want from us? Yeah, I would say the problem with Breath of the Wild is all of the big, important, cool discoveries that you could make about the dungeons and the puzzles. Before you can figure them out, Fi comes out and tells you, or there's a sign that tells you what to do, and you go, oh, fuck it, man. Climbing in Breath of the Wild? I think climbing was good, except how you interacted in the rain. I think climbing the rain was bad. I do think that if Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword had a baby, it would be a very good video game. If they got the right genes. Thank you, Fi. Very cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Breath of the Wild definitely did what Skyward Sword should have done with the stamina and made it like a progression system. I did enjoy that. And you just do more with it. I don't know. I think the climbing, I have a lot of very good memories about using the climbing. I think the climbing on its own is not amazing, but when you combine it with the paraglider, it's very good synergy of mechanics. I feel either they got lucky or very well thought out, and I'd like to believe very well thought out. Of course it's unrealistically good. Yeah, I would say the swimming isn't great. I think the reason they did that was... And I'm not saying that this is a particularly good reason. Is... if they wanted to make climbing and paragliding like the main focus. So they wanted you to use climbing to circumvent water. They wanted to make it an obstacle and a geographical feature. I think it also would have been difficult to make the boundaries of the world possible if you could swim like super duper far. Purple bar? Oh, I skipped it. I skipped getting it. I still have it, you just can't see it. Oh, I can't see it either. When you get Ravio's shop early, you never actually get the stamina meter. Probably Uniburst. I would agree with that. Thanks, Nightmare. Yeah, I would say the swimming and the climbing just comes down to suspension of disbelief. You just gotta say, does it really make a difference if he's a super good, like, Like, is any of this game actually fucking realistic? Like, no. Like, there are definitely things that could be in Zelda that would be kind of like weird. Like, if all of a sudden Ganon had a nuclear bomb, you would go, okay, this is pretty fucking weird. I would argue that would be tonally incorrect. But for something like he climbs too well, sorry, and he swims too poorly, like, that's kind of one of those things where it's just like, do I gain anything from, like, getting upset over this? I think using the motion controls to swim was not very good. Same for the flying. And this is coming from someone who mostly defends the decisions Skyward Sword made. I do think that's quite a good game. With some glaring problems, but quite a good game all the same. So normally I would say the motorcycle is tonally incorrect. All of the examples I was going to come up with were already in the games. I was going to say if there were vampires in Zelda. And there was the vampire-looking guy from Skyward Sword. And I was going to say, if all the enemies started shooting lasers out of their eyes, and I thought, well, okay, actually, there's a couple enemies that do that. So, then I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, nuclear bombs, that works. But the field in like Twilight Princess and OT aren't particularly like filled with shit to do either. That was a really slow setup. They don't do too much better. I'd say they have a better atmosphere, but you know, they're not brimming with content. They're also not as big. I don't know. I think it's important the way that fans discuss these things because of kind of what I was getting at earlier, where it's like people criticize Skyward Sword, right? And now they're criticizing Breath of the Wild like for the same thing, even though they're like polar opposites. So like, if Nintendo listens to feedback, which I'm sure they do to an extent, it's like, I don't want them to get the wrong idea because fans have no idea how to express what they want. I want Zelda. I want that too. Can there be a Tetris dungeon? They did a slide puzzle dungeon. Can we get a Tetris dungeon in Zelda? I agree, Eel. I think that Nintendo could do something very special with with using the Breath of the Wild engine and some of its formula, make some critical changes to it. I think they could make an incredible video game. I really think that something special could come from it, and I hope they do. I really, really hope they do. I think they will as well. Well, they've already kind of said that they're going to use a similar formula for the next game. Obviously, all of that is subject to change. You know, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. So, you know, we'll know what the next Zelda game is going to be when we get it. But as of now, it seems like that's the direction they would like to head in. 10 years' time? I don't think so. I don't think we'll be waiting too much longer for the next one. They have this engine now, the chemistry engine. You know. You know, don't even tell me that they don't have, like, a shit ton of unused ideas from Breath of the Wild that they're just waiting to pump out. Not great. I'm gonna lose like maybe 30. Four, 5, 6, 7. Yep, they need to make the weapons feel more special. They need to do better side quests, better dungeon variety. There's definitely a lot of stuff that a sequel to Breath of the Wild should hopefully improve on. I stand in like a really bad spot for hitting that guy. Or for launching off of him. It had 54 heart pieces. So pretty close to 60, but closer to 50. Oh, I'm sorry, 52. My bad. My bad. Yep, 52. Phantom Hourglass? I submitted it to SQDQ. You would definitely be seeing some Phantom Hourglass if it got in. I'm not hopeful, but 52 is absolutely the correct answer. And I was just doing the math in my head, and I realized, wait a minute, 54 is not a multiple of 4. Alright, I'm losing more than 30 seconds, but I'm going to be like 30 seconds behind. I don't know. I'm excited to see what Nintendo does. I hope the Switch doesn't... I'm dropping frames, my apologies. I hope the Switch doesn't lead them in the direction that the Wii did. I think they will be wary of such blunders. But it still worries me. Replay. I think... No, it's not that 3D isn't good. It's more complicated than that. If you are a new Zelda player, I'd say the 3DS version is good. I would say for experienced players, the VC version is probably better. I always get down here. My personal... It does have a Bomber's Notebook, but the notifications are just very short text boxes. And there are less of them. A lot less. When getting 100%... No, there is a Bomber's Notebook. It's just... It's not quite as detailed. And the notifications are not nearly as obtrusive. The Bomber's Notebook in 100% is 20 minutes slower than on the original. You waste 20 minutes of your life looking at notifications. It's not very good on N64. You also need the expansion for the N64 version. It's very laggy on N64. I wouldn't recommend. But we use a bad emulator. It's best on the Wii. The emulation on Wii was weird. I don't think it would affect you casually. It's more just controller support that becomes an issue. There's like, I think input delay for pretty much every single option. And it's like not very good. Not an amazing experience. Dropping more frames. Sorry, fam. Not sure why this has been happening. Fam, why are we even talking about Zelda when fucking Sekiro comes out in less than 2 weeks? Okay, yeah, if you can use GameCube controllers through VC or through homebrew stuff, then absolutely. I think we use a good Sekiro. It's the new From Software game. Oh, it's gonna be... I hope it's good. It looks so good. Haven't watched too much of it because I don't want to ruin shit. Sekiro. Yep, Dark Souls. Which I kind of formed a lot of assumptions about those games before I played them, but wow. What an interesting series. You went through Undead Berg with the sword hill. Holy shit. Well, that can't give a good first impression. No, it's not. The thing about Dark Souls is that it's not that hard of a video game. If you're looking for the lessons that the game is trying to teach you, which some people are going to say is bad game design, but for me and for many others was like such a rewarding experience. Well, not always in a good way. Yes. I really loved Dark Souls 1 when I played it for the first time. When I was replaying it, I don't know if I love it as much because I think the game does require you to be really patient at some points, and I kind of just want to get through to other parts of the game. So it definitely fails to an extent on that front sometimes. I would still wager that Dark Souls 1 has to have one of the best first halves of any video game. It's just the pacing and the structure and how, like, I don't know, it's just a special video game. The second half, on the other hand, is divisive. And then Dark Souls 2, which is divisive. And then Dark Souls 3, which is fun as shit, and if you don't like it, you're a bad person. I'm kidding. I can understand why people don't like some of the things in Dark Souls 3. I think the combat's very fun. Ha. Yeah, I think Dark Souls is the kind of game where it's best played blind, but I think searching for help isn't the wrong answer. I mean, there's literally a hint system organically baked into the fucking game, because I think that's the point, right? I don't think Dark Souls is a game that would work without like an online, you know, community. Built on like an internet infrastructure. I don't think it would work. Hey, Midnight, how's it going? Chris. To an extent, yeah. I think the thing that you have to realize is that Dark Souls... This is what I had to realize, because I had to start the game twice to get into it. I did not really enjoy it on my first try through. The thing is again, it's not really that hard of a game. It's never really going to ask you to do anything you can't do, from my experience. So, like, if you go to New Londo and you go, well, shit, I can't beat any of these enemies. This is way too hard. It probably means you went the wrong way. And you have to get good at kind of figuring out, like, that the game isn't this huge, hard, like, impossible video game that, like, only video game masters can play. It's fairly forgiving. And it kind of uses that. Well, no, most players don't pick up on that. That's part of the reason why people like Dark Souls, is because it's a skill that you learn. It's a rewarding skill that you learn. The game doesn't hand you anything. You have to learn it. Like Undertale. Once again, Undertale is the kind of game where you have to just look at it in a very different kind of way. What the fuck? That was bad. I would say, in order to really appreciate what Undertale does, you have to, like, play it differently. And that's why I think games like that are so influential, because they challenge the way these preconceived notions that people have. They kind of are very different experiences that play with your expectations. Now, that's not always a good thing. Where am I? All right. Yeah, not a fantastic split, but still in there. He's kind of a jerk. Really? I think that's an unpopular opinion. I think Toby Fox is one of the more humble people in the video game industry, personally. Hey, Rafar. I think he's a good person. Oh, fuck. Oh, really? Oh my goodness. Righty. I think he's doing some good stuff. Oh, he probably was having a laugh at your expense. I don't know if that makes him a jerk. It might. I guess I'm just used to laughing at my own expense, so... Yeah, I've heard why you say that. It's something like I like laughing at myself a lot. I think it's a good, healthy thing to do. But I'm not saying that's like the right way to take humor. You know, different people have different tastes. But I would say saying he's a jerk is maybe a bit of a leap. Especially because I feel like maybe the first time you play through it, it's kind of a laugh at your expense. But then if you go back and replay it, which I think in order to really like get all of the meat out of the game, you do need to go and replay it. The second time through, it's not so much the game poking fun at you. At that point, you're kind of in on the joke. And some people might not like that. I can totally understand why. But I think it's a very special video game. Hey, Snowan. Thanks for the host. I think it did some very brave things. And I definitely appreciate it for that. It came out during a time where big AAA, you know, millions of dollars of budget releases were getting way too comfortable with themselves, and it did something that no other game had really done the way it had done it. And so for that, I think at least within the context of its history, it should at least be appreciated and applauded, even if you don't necessarily like it. I didn't like Deltarune that much my first time through. I also don't think I was supposed to. I think that was kind of the point. That was one of the points. It depends on what kind of, you know, what kind of expectations you had going in my opinion. I think what it was going for worked on a couple of levels. Yeah, it was 2015, towards the end of 2015. September-ish? Sounds about right. Do-do-do-do. Ah. Fuck. Alright. Kind of beefed that just a little bit. Yeah, there was definitely some good stuff in 2015. Sand? Ah, I can't do the scream, dude. Too high pitched. I agree. I agree, Snowan, but they definitely both did a damn good job at doing it. I think Super Bunny Hop has a pretty good video kind of discussing a similar topic. And also Mark Brown. They both Super Bunny Hop and Mark Brown's videos on Shovel Knight are quite similar and quite good. Quite good videos. The only one that's like pretty bare bones, Skullwood's kind of a skip. Dark Palace is kind of the big one. Thieves has a skip, but it's not that big. Dark doesn't really have a skip, and Skullwoods has like kind of 2 skips, I guess. Oh, boss key skip? Skullwoods, Dark Palace. Thieves Hideout. Thieves Hideout actually does have a boss key skip, but you can't do it because you need Thief Girl. Yeah, if you fall in the water, it's actually like pretty bad. There is a way to save it, but it's really slow and kind of hard. For the most part, that trick isn't that difficult. I'd say most of the tricks in this game aren't that hard. Did that work? Oh wow, you don't have to move, you can just hit the A button. Oh, nice. I didn't practice that, but I got it. That might not work. If these all miss, I'm gonna be pissed. No, that should work. Oh, how did that hit? I don't really care about too much, except for the fact that Link looks like he moves really slow. I also checked the frame rate on the YouTube trailer upload, and the trailer was running at 30 FPS, even though the video was a 60 FPS video. And I know people are going to tell me frame rates aren't everything, but I do genuinely believe that a 60 FPS frame rate for Link Between Worlds and the fast movement speed genuinely make it a much more enjoyable experience than it otherwise would have been. Well, the thing is that was a good split, by the way. I think the reason why Link's Awakening had slower movement speed was because the screens were quite small. You were on a little 1x1 screen, right? And so it's understandable. But I think on a big 16:9 screen, you should be moving a little faster. Also, Link makes a noise when he swings his sword. Can't be having that. Yeah, I swear the frame rate thing sounds stupid, but I think A Link Between Worlds is just so snappy. And I think that genuinely does make it feel more fun. It makes it feel like a pretty good video game. Ah! What? Oh my god, not this shit again. Oh my god. There goes all my time. No! Why? How are they so good at smoking me? Alright, I'm gonna lose time. Those guys are fucking dead-eye. Oh, no, I'm definitely going to say it's, you know, it's way too early to really say anything. I'm just saying, based on what I have seen, it looks like Link moves really slow, and that, I'm not a fan of that. And, oh my god, what? Fuck off. That's bad. Alright, this split is going pretty poorly. So, based on what I have seen, those are not incredibly encouraging things. I'm not particularly happy about those. What? I swore I switched. Oh my god. Nice. Not the best luck on this one. Oh yeah, look at this time loss coming at me. PBing, that doesn't seem very doable. Fucking Turtle Rock, dude. Come on. I probably would have rather seen a new Zelda game too. Yeah, I probably would have liked to see more of a reimagining than like a straight up remake, reboot kind of thing, but oh my god, cut it out with that fucking new Zelda game bullshit. It's like, just because you didn't like it doesn't mean it's not a Zelda game. Just means you didn't like it. Oh, okay, that's how you do that. I don't know, remakes can be good. I would probably just rather see like a new take on it instead of kind of just like we're gonna redo this one. I think that's more appealing to me. That was bad movement. What? What's happened? Not my Zelda. Not my Zelda. Hashtag not my Zelda. Yeah, but that's not like a good thing. That's me making fun of you because I think the way you think is preposterous in this particular example. Well, I can enjoy Triforce Heroes. Oh, I know you were. Doesn't really matter if you're fine with it because I'm gonna do it anyways. Oh, fuck off. Get out of here. Whatever, you're not coming for me from all the way over there. I can enjoy Triforce Heroes, but not because it's like, I think of it as not a Zelda game. I just think like, it's fun to play with friends, but only because you're playing with friends and not because it's a good video game. that's the wrong item. I forgot. I gotta do it the other way. I don't know. I just think if you take the name of something too seriously, it's like... it's just not very good. And I don't think, you know, I think the way that you name your products is certainly important. But more so for marketing than for, like, how much I enjoy a video game. Tane to Plape? I don't like Plape. I don't think Plape is good. So if that's supposed to be like... the upper tier, I'm gonna say it's not. I don't think Plape is good. Plape is a thing. Gangnam Style to Gucci. I don't know. What's Tane, though? I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna lie. I'll Urban Dictionary it. Yeah, it's Sekiro. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with Tane then. Definitely Gangnam Style. Whoop. Whoop. What? Ah. Go diagonally. Whoa. Oh shit. I made that work. I'm so fucking good at this game. Okay. Yeah, I've only seen like 1 or 2 trailers for it. I'm trying to avoid too much shit. I don't want to... Weeby? I don't know. I think... I wouldn't say that. It's definitely Japanese. Paper Mario? No. It's, yeah, I guess the way I've always kind of interpreted Weeb is more of like a modern thing, but this is more like historical. So I can understand why you'd say that. Yeah, it's definitely very Japan, but I think a break from like a gothic theme is gonna be nice. I mean, even Bloodborne was like pretty state of mind. There you go. Maybe you think it's weeb because you are a weeb. Oh no, maybe we're all weebs. Oh no. That was good movement. That was good movement. Oh, close. I felt like that was close. Tetris 99 really makes you feel like Tetris. I think Tetris 99 is... Tetris isn't really my jam. I haven't played it yet. I actually did download it though. I think it's a really neat concept. Which is why I think Nintendo... needs to make Battle Royale Kirby Air Ride City Trial. Oh, come on. If you don't like City Trial... What? What are you even doing with yourself? I think better fight than PB. Probably a better dungeon than PB. Oh, is that a racing form? I don't know. That could be cool too. I think it would be hard to make a game out of that. There would have to be something forcing people to go too slow. What about like there's a big like there's something chasing you. There's a bunch of people like running and there's something chasing you. Kind of I think there's a couple Mario Party mini games like that. Definitely L-Block. And you have to like it keeps getting faster and faster. So there's like a maximum time limit. It's kind of like the fucking, you know, big circle from like the Battle Royale games. So there's something chasing you, but there's something that you can do to like fuck other people up. So it would be like Mario Kart Battle Royale, right? Where you... Okay, yeah, so you could be like that, Green. Or it could just be something that's like, goes at this rate. I do think the biggest problem with Battle Royale as it is right now is that, like, at least the shooty ones, right, is like there isn't really anything engaging you most of the time. Yeah, kind of. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. It's not engaging enough for the experience. There's like maybe a minute of action and then like 15 minutes of kind of just sitting around going, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Just be afraid that... I mean, the way that Video Game Donkey put it was pretty good. Like, you do nothing for like a bunch of time and then a pixel from like 100 feet away kills you. Then you have to sit through a loading screen to wait for more guys to get in your party or whatever the fuck. I lost a lot of health. Yeah, I remember that before. What? Unfucking believable. I don't like that position. First half of that was really bad. Second half only got 1 lasers, not the worst. The second half was really good because I only got 1 set of lasers, but the first half was really bad. I played it safe. I got hit really early on, so if I got hit by one of those red stabs, it would have been like over pretty much. Those do like 5 or 6 hearts, I forget. So this can still PB, I think. I think it can still be a 125. If you get sword upgrades, it's really not that hard. Oh, fuck. Alright, I did not want to get hit by that. And the tennis is actually kind of hard too, because you can't mash. If you mash, you fucking get owned. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna PB or not. Looks like it probably will. In fact, I think this will be a gold split. Got a lot of time to save when you get in. Yeah, it will be a gold split. Amazing. About a 125.30. I totally beefed it. 125.26. Cool. I only have to save 26 more seconds to beat Herediman. And I have so much time to save in... This is going to be such an easy, like, bunch of splits to run against. It's, like, nutty. World record is 121 flat. So I'm not even close. That's fine. Alright, let's say I do beat Herediman soon. Let's start looking for the future here, because I'm close. I'm only 30-odd seconds away. Demon is a 124-23. He would be my next guy to beat. The tournament is going to begin on Friday. I should be able to win my first match. But after that, because of the format, I should probably be up against someone who's more of a threat at beating me. But I think at this point, the only person who is like definitely probably going to beat me is Romulo. I can take Herediman, Oisho, and Enwono. I can definitely take all of them. So that's good. I think I'll do another one, but I want to take a piss first. Zahir's not in the tournament. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and grab a snack, and I think I'll do another one.